Now listen to this.
Bonjour, c'est la seconde question de chant afropéen de Doré à Laszlo et celle-là va être en anglais, et oui, pour nos amis les anglophones. Hi everybody, I'm Doria, a singing teacher and vocal coach, and tonight I'd like to give you a small singing lesson in English for all of you that speak English, of course. Well, today I had a phone call from a new student that asked me which is my voice. Big question. Of course, everybody has a unique voice. It's like the digital prints because of how you made, mostly inside, your vocal strings, how long they are, if they're more thin or fat, etc. And it gives you your range, your vocal range, but your voice, if it's unique, it's not exactly always the same, you know. If you think your voice is always the same, it's just like if you believe that you're always in the same mood, actually. There's on one side your natural voice, the voice you use to speak. But if you only use your natural voice to sing, it will be very, you will have a very short range, and you will have very short possibilities of modulation. In your voice, you have many possibilities of modulations with the tone of your voice, and of course the depend on the range and which kind of voice you are using. First, let's talk about the range and the type of voice you can use. You have what I call direct voice, head voice, and then the falsetto. The direct voice, which is mostly called the chest voice, is the one you mostly use to talk. But some people use the head voice to talk sometimes. But anyway, if you use it to sing, it will do like this: la 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 la, la 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 la. This is your direct voice. The specificity of the direct voice, to me, is that it goes directly from your vocal strings to outside. It has, of course, it has to go find a resonancy in your head, but it's very small resonancy. Then you have what we call the head voice. The head voice has a very strong resonancy in your head, in the sinus behind the nose. And it does something like this. Da 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 da. Da, 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 da. This is a head voice, very low, but this is a head voice. You can make a lot of notes both with direct or head voice. For example, direct voice, hey, head voice, hey. What I like is to avoid using the head voice only on your high notes. because it would be too systematic, and I don't like too much systematism in singing. If every time you go high you have to use your head voice, then the audience will get used to it, and I don't like too much habits. I think you should be able, and this is what I teach, you should be able to use your direct voice from the lowest to the highest notes possible. And the same for your head voice. And then you have a lot of choice, and you don't reduce any of your resonances to one type of notes. If I take some very low notes, la la la, and I can take these notes to in a head voice, la la la, and so you can make a song, a whole song, in a head voice. If it depends what you want to express, what feeling you want to share with the audience. And then for your highest notes you can do the same to a certain extent, for sure, because after a certain notes you can't do no more a direct voice, that's obvious. But as long as you can, try to use your direct voice. Hey, 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 whoa, whoa. This gives you a very intense kind of singing, very intense voice. And the same note you can do it in a head voice. Woo, hey, and it's not the same feeling you give to the audience, and it's not the same feeling you have inside too. And then you have the falsetto. Some people have the feeling that it's very hard to get the falsetto voice, but it's like everything. It's only a habit, and it's only a work. It took me more than a year to get it. So work on it, and you will get it for sure. The process of the falsetto voice is that it's not the vocal strings that close themselves, but it's the what we call the false strings, the yoidian muscles, if I remember the exact word. We will call them the false strings that help the vocal strings to close themselves, so you can go higher than simply with your vocal strings. Some men think maybe it's not good to sing with it, but just listen to Marvin Gaye, listen to D'Angelo, Bilal, and many artists, Prince, for example. They use it. So men, boys, you can use it for sure. Then I show you a falsetto voice. This is the falsetto, and it's very easy, you know. There's nothing very hard in this. It's just a matter of work and time. And as for the direct and head voice, there are some notes that you can do or in the head voice or in the falsetto voice. What you have to pay attention to is not to use your falsetto too early in your range, because if you do so, you will make your real vocal strings lazy. So you have to pay attention to have the good position in your throat, to be sure to have the head voice. And then when you can't close your vocal strings no more, then you can use the falsetto. Let me show you now the difference between the head voice and the falsetto voice on the same notes. Woo! This is the head voice. Woo! This is the falsetto voice. Do you hear the difference? So you have to maintain a good position with your mouth very low like this, and your throat wide open to get the head voice. If you don't, then you will go in the falsetto voice, and you will maybe make your vocal strings lazy, so it's not good. After a while, they will not be able to close themselves as much as they normally can.
Now listen to this.
Well, some people have difficulties with one or another kind of voice, but I'm sure if you work very patiently and very hard, you will succeed finally. So hold tight and just go on working and working. Life is very long and we're not in a hurry to do well. What you can do to train yourself for the different kind of voices is to sing the same notes with this different kind of voices. For example, let's take Amazing Grace and choose some medium notes, a little bit high but not too much, and try to sing it both in direct voice and head voice. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. And then let's sing it in the same notes, but with the head voice. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. You get it? The same notes, different kind of voice. To train more, then you mix and you do it as a duet between your direct voice and your head voice. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. And you reverse sentences. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. Right? The next level for the training is to do some parts of sentences in the direct voice and some part in the head voice like this. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. You see, even on the vibrato, you can use the two different voices. And this is quite the same for the head voice and the falsetto voice, but as the falsetto is very high and it's very hard to pronounce words, so you should train with vibes. To me, it's better. And very often you will use the falsetto voice for vibes. So this is a good exercise. This is head voice. Woo! This is falsetto. Ooh! And we go higher. Woo! 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 Of course, you shouldn't smoke like I do, sometimes, and you should take care to your vocal health. But this is another chapter.
Now listen to this.